Welcome to our special live stream from AWS reInvent. We're doing this live stream twice a day, so be sure to check out all of the live streams. This is the last one for today, though. I'm Jesse Hall. I'm a Senior Developer Advocate at MongoDB. And with me, I have a special guest, Rob Southon from VEERUM. So, Rob, why don't you give us an introduction? Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me here. Super excited to be at the conference and to be here with MongoDB Atlas. Super excited about all the cool things that are happening here at the event. So I'm Rob Southon. I'm Chief Technology at a company called VEERUM, and we build 3D digital twins for the industrial sector.
I looked at it. It's very interesting technology, and we'll get into that in a little bit. Let's talk a little bit about reInvent first. What brings you to reInvent? What are you hoping to get out of reInvent?
Well, I'm a CTO at heart, so I'm here for the technology, obviously. Super excited to see all the cool companies here, all the cool technologies, and just be able to be inspired, especially in this kind of post-pandemic era where we can connect in person.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Is there anything in specific that you're looking forward to seeing?
For sure. The best things are the things that you don't expect to see, and the surprises, and definitely kind of the coolest technologies that you didn't know existed.
Yes.
I think we've done a lot of our searching for new technologies just through our laptops and computers, and it's cool to be able to connect with the people behind those technologies here.
Yeah, there's so many great things going on here. So many things that you've never seen before. So obviously, yeah. So let's talk a little bit about VEERUM. Give us a little bit of backstory on how did it come about, and then a little bit on the technology itself.
Yeah, absolutely. So VEERUM is now kind of entered the scale-up mode. We've been around for around 8 years. Started as a true tech startup and kind of went through all the startup programs like a lot of the companies here, and then have really grown over the last few years. So what VEERUM does is we build 3D digital twin technologies for the industrial sector. And these are visual digital twins that allow you to actually see an exact replica of your industrial facility or site.
Nice. And so is it defined as like augmented reality, or like how do you define it really?
Yeah, great question. So there's a lot of confusion out there around digital twins. I think one of the big categories of digital twins, and the place where VEERUM thinks we see a tremendous amount of value that our clients are seeing today, this isn't a future state thing that we're seeing, is in that visual representation. So you're going to take a 3D representation of your site. So basically like Google Earth on steroids, but way more detailed with way more connected data, so that you can then start to experience it without actually being on site. Yeah. Perfect in kind of this post-pandemic era.
Nice. So what does your customer base look like? Like what industries are you targeting?
Yeah, so it's definitely energy is probably the biggest. Large facilities who are dealing with a tremendous amount of data. These are generally going to be facilities that are relatively, safety is a priority at these. So the more hours that you can take out of those dangerous work situations and get people getting the information they need in a timely manner, the safer those facilities are going to be.
Yeah. So how does that? You touched on it a little bit, but the 3D technology, how does it benefit those customers? What can they do with it?
Yeah, so I think here's where we're seeing tremendous gains. I think the world of digital twins, if you look back like 3-4 years ago, there was a lot of kind of people out there kind of building digital twins, and they were kind of like one-offs. They didn't scale. They maybe would work at one particular site, and that's about it. And they weren't really sure the use cases or the value that they were going to get from the digital twin. And they were investing incredible amounts of money. Like they were like burning like millions of dollars to build these things that were one-offs. So that's really where VEERUM came in and figured out that what we can do is we can actually build a SaaS company out of being able to deliver these great outcomes for our clients, which happens to be through this visual way of doing work, which happens to be through digital twins, but it's not really about the fact that it's a digital twin company. It is about the great outcomes for our clients.
Nice. So we talked about a couple of use cases. So they're able to physically see the site from not being physically there. What can they do would it be like inspections? Would it be, what are some use cases?
Yeah, great question. So first of all, there are use cases and there's value drivers all across kind of the asset lifecycle. So from kind of the pre-construction planning phases into actually construction, and VEERUM got our start in the construction area doing progress monitoring, those types of things. But where we see the most value today is actually more in the operations and maintenance phases of the life cycle. So what we're really seeing is like remote maintenance planning and being able to have all of your connected data in one 3D dashboard, including your IoT data, including any of the data that you have in your business systems that are locked away and your end users can't get access to them, or it takes them a long time to get access to them. You have it all in one 3D context of your site. And we're seeing like efficiency gains of like 30% for those workers, like remote maintenance planners workers, which is insane when you're talking about these industrial facilities where like if they got 3% gains, they would be excited.
Exactly. Yeah. And so I checked out the technology, and it's not only just mapping and showing you where things are, you can actually tag different pieces of equipment and you can track things like that. So what challenges, that seems like a lot of data points, right? And so what challenges did you run into when having to keep track of all these different data points, needing to aggregate all of this data?
Yeah, great questions. And actually, this is one of the main things that we needed to solve in order to really scale this up to make sure that it does apply across all of our clients' industrial sites. They might have hundreds of these different sites, so it needs to be able to scale across all of them. And just one site can easily have 10 million different data points that need to be aggregated. So you quickly do the math against, a large client base, 100 sites plus. How do you actually aggregate it? And that's kind of why I'm speaking here today. Yeah. We came to MongoDB Atlas.
Right. What brought you to that? What brought you to using a cloud-hosted database?
Yeah, I think as CTO, one of the main things that I wanted to do is make sure I was building, kind of a lean startup. I come from that lean startup background. That's kind of an area that's always really interested me. How do you actually build a scale up that's actually, going to get to some sort of means of being profitable, right? We saw so many startups that were kind of like burning out and failing. So everything that I was looking up is, hey, how do we make this scale? How do we actually have fewer DB admins or no DB admins and actually support bringing in all these data when we're, dealing with a tremendous amount of data, but you want to have fewer people working on it. And then resiliency is super important. Security is super important. And so basically, as CTO, what do? We do a bunch of research. We look at the best tools on the market, and therefore we chose MongoDB Atlas.
So you're saying MongoDB is the best tool on the market? Okay, that's a quote. We can quote him on that. He said it. It's recorded. It's live. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Let's dig a little bit more into the tech stack itself. So you're using Atlas, MongoDB Atlas. Are there any other things that you're using on the platform?
Yes, and I feel like maybe that's a bit of a leading question since we're here at an AWS event. But yeah, of course, the other big piece to the stack is AWS with these super large geospatial data files that we're dealing with. These can be terabytes of data for a single site just to represent the 3D accurate geolocation of your site and all those different objects at site. How do you do it at scale? We use S3. Our entire stack is built on AWS.
Nice. How about other technologies such as Atlas Search?
Yeah, so Atlas Search was super key to us being able to provide those user experience that those specific like maintenance planners, for example, actually needed out of our platform. Mm-hmm. So for us, Atlas Search was actually probably one of the biggest things that led us to the decision and continues to be the right decision for us. So if you think about it, you've aggregated now like millions of these data points across all these different systems. And then how do you actually make them available to the end users when they need them? So you really, really need a high scale and easy to use search that has really cool features like being able to filter down to certain data sets that you need after you've aggregated all to certain personas.
Right. And it's so nice that it's just built in and you don't have to go with some third-party plugin to do search. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's huge.
Yeah. So how about your developers? How are they enjoying using MongoDB in the different features of Atlas? How about like the actual production and the ease of production of the database?
Yeah, for sure. So I am a software developer by heart. I started my career writing code, kind of using old SQL-based databases. So I know what a challenge it can be unless you're working with a great database and a great database technology. Right. And so for me, how do you build a great company? You build a great team first, right? You make sure that those people are happy. You make sure that those people actually feel great about the tools that they're using at work. So for me, that is a key decision to any of the tooling and anything that's in your stack is what is the kind of total experience not just for your end clients, but for your internal employees, including your developers.
Yeah, for sure. The developer experience is key to any company. So what would can you speak about that's next for Virum? Where are you going next, and how can MongoDB help with that?
Yeah, great question. So as we said, we're seeing tremendous growth.
Mhm.
So I think for us at Virum, one of the key things that we're looking to do is always provide new user experiences to help our end users find the data faster is always really cool. So, exploring the use of facets with MongoDB Atlas search, we're super excited about that. We're really, really excited just about the total scale that we're now seeing in terms of the total amount of aggregated data. Just going back to one of your earlier questions, I remember when the team was maybe only around 12 people, we were trying to figure out how do we do this at scale. And when we hit like 5 million aggregate items inside of Mongo, we literally threw a huge party because it was such a huge milestone. And now that seems like so far in our past as to where we are today. So I'm just excited about the scale that we're doing this at for our clients, because it means that every single time that we're actually allowing an end user to be able to go and use Virum, we're actually taking them out of potential, safety, out of harm's way.
Yeah.
We're making them more efficient, and we're also reducing greenhouse gas emissions as well through our platform. So it's pretty crazy when you see the total amount of impact that we're having, and that's always my focus. That's always what I want to do. It's all about the end people who are using the technology. The technology is awesome. I love using it, but if you're not using it for the right purpose, then that's not something that inspires me. So I'm super excited that Virum's doing the right thing with the right outcomes for our clients.
Nice. It is an amazing technology. I had no idea that was even a thing until I did a little bit of research. It's amazing how you're using MongoDB with it as well. And so before we wrap up, is there anything that you'd like to say to our audience? Anything, last words?
Yeah, just, if you haven't checked out VEERUM.com yet, please go ahead and check it out. You can send me a note directly, rob.southon@VEERUM.com. I'll throw the email out there. Feel free to contact me. I'll show you how we are, literally changing, these people's lives that are out there in the field or at the safety of, their home or office through this type of technology.
Nice. Thank you again for being here and for being on our live stream. And again, be sure to check out our upcoming live streams. We have 2 more tomorrow and the one on Thursday. So again, thank you, and we'll see you again.
Thank you.
All right. All right. Thank you.
Thanks.